Hey there, Doughboy here, and I wanted to make a video about my top 10 favorite horror movies from 2014. This is my list. If you don't agree with what's on the list, then whatever. Also, some of the movies may have come out in other places before this year, but they didn't come out to the US until this year, so keep that in mind for some of them. Well, anyway, number 10 is Septic Man. Septic Man is like if you took The Toxic Avenger, Hostel, and Cabin Fever, and they all got together. Frickin' Septic Man is what would come out of that. It's about this city gets this flesh-eating virus that's coming from the water. So this Septic Man gets hired to explore to discover where this disease is coming from, while everyone else has evacuated the city. He ends up getting trapped in the sewage system, and he discovers where it's coming from, and everything turns out as a little more than just a flesh-eating virus. There's actually a killer dumping bodies into the sewer, which is infecting the water. But the Septic Man gets trapped in there, and over time he gets trapped in a sewer, so over time he gets more and more shit clinging to him, and he ends up looking like kind of like the Toxic Avenger. Which is why I say it's a little like Toxic Avenger. Pretty good, pretty gory, pretty fucked up. You gotta have a strong stomach watching that movie because it's kind of gross, but overall it's actually pretty good. Check it out. Number 9 is Camp Dread. Camp Dread is about this asshole movie director who directed movies like they're movies that are along the lines of like Sleepaway Camp. The director wants to make a comeback, so he invites all these troubled teens to a camp in the middle of nowhere. And he has cameras set up everywhere, and they're told that it's a reality show. And they're gonna get eliminated one by one, and it's like a horror reality show or something. They're gonna get eliminated and go home, but whoever is left standing at the end is gonna get $1 million, I think it is. There's actually a killer in the camp killing them off, and they're all trying to survive and get the money, and they all think it's a TV show, and until they discover that it's actually more than what it seems. It has some good twists in it, and it's a pretty fun movie. I liked it a lot. Number 8 is The Taking of Debra Logan. Oh man, this was a pretty good movie. I like this one a lot. This girl is in college, and for her thesis, she's doing a report on Alzheimer's. She gets invited to film this woman with Alzheimer's for a while, and it might not just be Alzheimer's that the woman has, but she might also be possessed. It has a few scenes in it that I didn't expect, and some of these scenes are really cool. Like the snake scene. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. Number 7 is Wolfcap. This movie's pretty cool. It's a comical, grindhousey werewolf movie where this alcoholic cop becomes a werewolf that gets stronger when he drinks. And the cop's name is Luke Guru, which, if you don't know, a loup guru is like a French werewolf. That's pretty funny and pretty cool. One of the first transformation scenes in the movie is pretty fucked up. It's the bathroom one. It's fucked up. Watch it. You're gonna want to check this one out if you like cheesy horror movies. If you don't like cheesy horror movies, you still might like it, but just beware. It's pretty cheesy, but I loved it. Number 6 is As Above, So Below. As Above, So Below is a movie about this girl who is trying to find like ancient relics and stuff, and she believes that the Philosopher's Stone is hidden somewhere deep inside the Paris catacombs. Now, the Paris catacombs are obviously located in Paris. What makes them crazier than any other catacombs in the world is the fact that they ran out of room in the cemeteries in Paris, so they ended up lining the walls of the catacombs with the bones of their dead. And there's legends that it's like 7 layers deep, and the bottom layer leads to hell, or it goes down forever, and it's a pretty crazy place. And you could get easily lost there because I don't think all of it is explored, and a lot of the tunnels are sealed off. But she hires a crew, and they all go down there, and they're exploring the tunnels, and some creepy shit starts to happen, and they're all seeing visions of things that happened in their lives, things they'd rather forget, and it has a really creepy atmosphere. It's a lot like The Descent, but with more paranormal aspect to it. It's a pretty good movie, though. Anyway, number 5 is The Town That Dreaded Sundown. The Town That Dreaded Sundown is about this town in Texas, I think it was, where every year they show this movie with the same title. The movie that they watch every year is about killings that happened in the town, that happened a long time ago, and then someone came and made a movie about it in the 70s, and so now the town watches that movie every year as like a tradition. And there's religious people and people that just hate the movie, trying to get them to stop playing it, because some of them think it'll bring back the wrath of the killer because he was never caught. Anyway, the killer comes back and picks up his old killing spree, and he starts killing people just like in the movie. There's some pretty good gore, and some of the kill scenes are pretty creative. The killer in The Town That Dreaded Sundown wears a potato sack on his head, like this guy. Oops, that was Jason from Friday the 13th Part 2. I meant to say this guy. Number 4 is Shock Value. Shock Value is about this failed horror movie director. He's made dozens of movies, but he's just a failed director. None of the movies he makes are any good. But one day he witnesses a murder, and he follows the murderer home, and he starts stalking the killer, and he eventually blackmails the killer into being in his movie, because who better to play a psycho killer than a psycho killer? This movie is also pretty fucked up. The killer is like a sociopath. He has no like feeling for anyone. But there is a little bit of a connection between him and this girl who is the producer of the movie. So there is a little bit of a love story, and he kind of needs to learn how to feel. It's a pretty good movie. You should check it out. Number 3 is The Babadook. In The Babadook, a mother and son come across a mysterious book that pretty much just appears in the house one day, and they start reading it. As they're going through it, the mother discovers that the book's not quite appropriate for a kid her kid's age. It's actually really scary. It's like a pop-up book, but it's not good for kids at all. The Babadook is basically this boogeyman type creature that you can never get rid of. It will never go away. Then weird things start happening around the house, and they're being haunted by the Babadook. She rips up the book and throws it away, and the next day it appears on the doorstep, all taped and glued back together. But now there's more pages in the book, and the newer pages show some pretty graphic and creepy things. The movie's very creepy, and you should definitely check that one out. Number 2 is Where. Where is basically a new take on werewolves. It takes real life diseases and whatnot, and through the combination of them, it basically creates a werewolf. It's a really good movie. It's a really good take on the werewolf genre, and it's something new and refreshing, and that's something it needed. Definitely check this one out. And my number 1 horror movie of 2014 is Housebound. In Housebound, this girl tries to rob a ATM machine, and her accomplice is hitting it with a sledgehammer, and the sledgehammer ricochets off the ATM and hits the guy right in the face, knocks him the fuck out. So she breaks open the ATM machine, takes the money box, and has to drag her accomplice back to the car. And she gets him back to the car, gets him inside, and they go to take off, and the car rides so low that they get stuck on a speed bump in the parking lot, and they get arrested. So that's a pretty funny start to this movie. The girl gets put on house arrest, and she gets stuck in a house with her mom and her stepdad. And her mom thinks the house is haunted. And things are a lot more than what they seem. The movie has a good vibe to it. It has a lot of twists and turns, and it's both creepy and funny at times. This is a very comical movie, and I highly recommend this one. It's a very funny movie. Definitely check this one out. It's number 1 for a reason. Anyway, there's my top 10 of 2014. I hope you like the list, and hope you like these movies. Have a good night, day, whatever it is where you are, and Happy New Year. Peace out.